Why the joggers? But then
Shoes or clothes?
like the jogger, the hammer pants almost like we know when the hammer pants kind of came back
Oh, yeah.
with the baggy sag middle or whatever. I was like, what is this? But it was like a new twist to it because it wasn't exactly like the hammer pants.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, I'm not gonna wear those. And then I think I got one somewhere along the line. I was like, man, these are comfortable.
You purchased the hippie pants?
I didn't purchase it. I think I got it as a gift or something. I don't know. Christmas, you know.
Who would buy you that? That's disrespectful, man.
Oh, so
I
you're
call it
against it? You're against it as well?
nah. It's just not for me.
So then why are you hating?
No, I'm saying it's not for me. I'm not hating. I'd
Oh
love to
yeah,
see you wear
I
one
thought
though.
I thought it was not. I mean, I got a pair somewhere. I don't wear it like that. But no, I mean, I'm just saying that I had a feeling about them, and I was like, no, that's whack. Don't do that. Don't wear those. Those are gross. You know what I mean? And then
Mm.
I tried it, and I was like, oh, these are bad. You ever have something like that? You hated it, and then like you tried it, and you're like, it could be anything.
Yeah, I
Oh
had a
shit.
few things. Um, my LA Lights back in the day. I don't know if you remember those brands, but yeah,
I remember LA Lights.
yeah. I wasn't trying to wear it to school because it's LA Lights, man. I wanted some Adidas, but then I was like, you know what? I'm a rock 'em, and I actually liked them, man. I mean, people were making fun of me, but I really didn't care at that point. I
Yeah, it's
rocked it.
whatever. It's whatever you like. If you like it, it's great.
All right. Let's start the show. BBT, how you doing? Welcome to episode 9 of the One Mic podcast. And before we start, I'd like to say something. And I like to talk to my brother Gio for a second. So he's probably gonna hate me for this, but it's okay. So I'd like to say congratulations to my brother Gio. I
Yeah.
also like to say um, thank you, congratulations after 20 years in the military. Um, and I want to say, as a brother, I love you. I also want to say, as a person, as a human being, I love you. Um, and saw One Pivot had a pod today, and they had Malcolm, Malcolm Jenkins, and
Mhm.
he was talking about retirement, and Fred said, "No, it's not a retirement; it's a career change." So I'm gonna say the same thing to Gio. He's going to have, well, today's official. He has a career change. So I just want to say thank you. And so I just want to say, Gio, where is your mindset after retiring, career change,
Yeah.
doing something for 20 years? Where are you at now? I know this is not what we plan to talk about, but I just
No,
want to
I'm
put that
about
out
it.
there.
No, let's go. That's what it's
So
for.
where's your mindset at now after doing something for 20 years just every day?
Damn, that's a tough question. One, thank you for the introduction and like the spontaneous mentioning of my retirement. So thank you. I love you too, as you know. You know what I'm saying? It's about brotherhood is a beautiful thing, and sharing things like today. You know what I'm saying? Or these days is very good. But it's a loaded question, man, because like there's a lot to it, right? Like, first of all, when you think retirement, you think old people retire, right?
Right.
Um, so me, I'm not old. I mean, it depends on who you ask, right? You ask the Gen Z, kids, yeah, they're like, oh, he's old. He's 30 something. You remember that?
Listen, if you asked me this a couple of days ago, I would say he's old, but I ain't doing that today. Not today.
Yeah,
It's
but
your day.
old is relative. Like beauty is in the
Yeah.
eye of the beholder, right? Age is
Mhm.
relative. There are 80-year-olds that are living better lives than most of us because in their minds they're right. And
Mhm.
then you got people that are 20 that just stay in the house, don't do anything. They don't live life. So,
Right.
who's aging, who's dying, who's living. You know what I mean? But back to it, it's I'm trying to kind of like let it go through it's my transition, but just feeling the feelings as you go through it, right? It's like 20 years is a long time. I joined at 21, and I did almost 21. So like do the math. But it's such a life change, going from, being the first 20 years of your life, you're a young person and people are in charge of you. You have to do what you got to do. You got to do what you're told. So it's a
Yeah.
certain lifestyle change. And then when you become an adult and you start trying to figure out what it is that you want to do, in my case, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was having a good time. We were chilling. We had just enough jobs to get by and do what we need to do, but there was no purpose. And for young people, that's important.
Right.
So I joined the Marines.
Was it
You know,
easy of a decision for you to join this career?
no, absolutely not, because um, like I've had conversations. A lot. For the most part, it was like positive. Reinforcement from my family and friends. It was sad stuff. It was right before 9/11, or actually I went to boot camp after 9/11, but I enlisted before 9/11. So just imagine that, right? You go back to
Yeah.
2001, the world is on fire, right? And we're getting ready to go to war, and I just enlisted in the military. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the fear, not only for me, but like my family members, and having conversations like that. I had other family members that were just like, man, like, you join the military, like that whole, like, we don't get treated right, and you're going to go and serve the country. You know what I'm saying? And my mentality was just like, look, I feel stuck. And I'm 20, 21. Most of my friends that went to college are now graduating, right?
Hmm.
So now I'm feeling like what am I doing? You know what I mean? So that kind of like it pushed me towards that, and I'm grateful for it, because the 20 years that I served in the military, I did a lot of things. I mean, I've seen some things, but most importantly, like, I've met people. I've learned how to be proficient. I've learned how to be courageous. I've learned how to all the stuff that I
Yeah.
think that I have a pretty decent handle on as a personality, or as a person, as a man, father, whatever. I'd learned through the military. Um,
Mm.
and 20 years seems like a lot, but to me, it was like every day I just showed up, and I woke up, I did what I needed to do. I had a contract, I had a responsibility, and I did it. And with it coming to an end, on average, you know what I mean? Like, the numbers are like crazy. Most people get out after 4, right?
Right.
Um, and then a good amount. So I would say it's like 60%, I think, like that, get out after about 4. And I think it's across all branches for the most part, but then it varies within the branches, right? Stats and data. But
Yeah.
what I'm getting at is less than 2% of the people in the United States join the military, and then the Marines is the smallest branch, and so there's even less of us, and there's even less female Marines. So kudos to all the female Marines out there. You know what I mean? Shout out to
Yeah.
y'all.
Respect.
Um, so, and I know it's a lot, but you're asking me, so like this is kind of like what's been culminating for me, and just kind of like wrapping up
Yeah,
the
of
20
course.
years. But to get to 20 years, it's tough, because the cream rises to the top, and it gets more competitive, and you got to be on your A game, because when you're new, they're like, oh, you're private, you don't know a lot, let's teach you. But when you've been around 18, 19 years, you're expected to know how to do things. So,
Okay.
but living in that, I'll let you ask a question. But living in that world for 20 years of that standard, and just think about just grinding and putting in work, a lot of work, knowing that you got to do more than everybody else. That's basically what, like, being a Marine is for 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But letting that go and transitioning is been a great journey so far.
No, that's good, man. And like I said, we didn't plan this, but like it dawned on me right like 5 minutes before we got on. I'm like, wait, he did send me a lot of texts of just Mel Gibson saying freedom. And
Absolutely,
the funny thing is that it's just a picture he sent me, but in my head I hear freedom.
absolutely.
I'm
Then you
just
got
like,
the message.
I'm like, this man, dude. He said it to me like 3 times. I'm like, oh, okay. And
Yeah.
so you did say that you joined because of your friends are all doing this and that, and you felt like you were stuck. Um, is this a career path that you would tell someone that was in your shoes, let's say stuck, not feeling motivated to do much, or whether they dropped out of school, or probably don't want to work? Is that something you would suggest to somebody to actually join the service?
Um, I mean, everyone's circumstances are different. I think my experience was amazing. Right? Was it
Nice.
always great? No. Was it easy? Absolutely not. When you just get used to just waking up, especially in the beginning, like 4:30 in the morning. You just boot camp. That's a whole show in itself to talk about boot camp. Maybe
Yeah,
we could bring another veteran that we know, and talk about that, because that'd be I think, an amazing podcast. But that's another time.
we can. Yep.
but just the amount of work and effort that goes into it is just it's a crazy amount, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so
So you would. So it all depends on the circumstance, like you're saying, like
yeah, so
because I hear that type of story all the time. It's like, hey man, you're not doing much. You're not. You're going through life. You don't know what you're doing, or you're confused. Hey, join the military. Maybe that'll straighten you up. I've always
so
heard it that way. You know what I mean?
so the last 4 years, 5 years, some of that time was spent in and around recruiting. So I've recruited for the military before. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I had a pretty good experience with it. I believe in the military. I've got a lot of knowledge in the military, and it's just being able to talk to young, uh, senior high school kids and young adults, and being able to explain to them my experience in the military and that they can have it as well. So of course I'm going to say yeah, it's great, but it's different for everybody, right? And I've seen people that are introvert be successful in the military. I've seen alpha types be successful in the military. It's all about how bad do you want it, why do you want it, right?
Right.
And does it appeal to you? Is it something that is there a calling? Then you're probably going to like it to a degree. But like every other job, it's the people that's going to make it great, and the people in the Marines are for the most part great. It's a
Okay.
great atmosphere. The esprit de corps, the camaraderie is great. So, like, if those are things that you're looking for, do four. Like, it's definitely, I think, worth it to do four, especially if you can't afford college. Go to college afterwards. Go to college while you're in, and get your
Right.
degree while you're in. Like, it gives you opportunities. If you don't have opportunities, it's a great way to, you know, because it worked for me. You know,
Right. So what's one thing you would take that you either experienced in the military after 20 years or something you've learned in the military that you're going to use into your next career?
uh, it feels like a job interview. I like
Hey,
it.
listen, man,
No, I got it.
we got to give flowers, and you've earned this. Okay, I
Yeah.
know this was not planned, but it was like I said 5 minutes before we came on. And listen, man, we got to give you your flowers too, bro.
Hey, no, I appreciate it. It's so much that it's like me saying to you, like, hey, how much do you love your mother? Right?
Mm,
You could. There's a lot of ways to express it, but I guess that one, you could be like with everything, right? So it's kind of the same way. The military and the Marines specifically has trained me to like be prepared for anything and everything. You know,
mm,
to be prepared for bad situations, be prepared for good situations, but more importantly, is to be able to communicate effectively as a team because it's so important for Marines in a specific situation to communicate effectively. Just imagine chaos already happening. You need to be focused and speaking to one another. You got to be able to work under pressure. You got to be dependable, right? You got to want to do it more for the person next to you as you do for yourself. Like these are things
gotcha.
that like if you're say regular civilian that really didn't do too much, didn't do too many things, you have the same job in a cubicle, you know what I'm saying, or whatever job that you're like, oh, that's an average regular job. Like in the Marines, like everything it notches up a little bit because your life's on the line. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Communication is a big deal. I mean, that's just anywhere you go. And for you to say, yeah, communication is very important. I mean, that's just in general, just
Yeah. I
with
mean, and you
kids, your household, just anything. Yeah,
and here's the thing too is especially Marines, but like all military, but specifically Marines get like they get a bad rap. My dogs are coming in the room. They get a bad rap, and they're like, "Oh, Marines are like not smart." I'm telling you right now, some of the people that I know that were Marines or are Marines are some of the smartest people I know. You have to be able to understand what the mission is. You got to be able to understand what the orders are, and you got to be able to understand that Plan A is going to go out the window soon as stuff hits the fan. So you got to be able to
right.
either know what Plan B is or know how to like figure out Plan B. So like military people are very smart, very
Yeah,
smart.
gotcha. Yeah, the last time I heard Plan B, it scared the living crap out of me. Um, I got one more question, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
So after 20 years, is there any like something weird or maybe a funny situation that you encounter in the 20 years in the military?
Man, like I honestly, I want to write. I would like to write a book. You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'm waiting
And
for it
and I
then.
don't want to say too much about what it is, but it's along those lines, like just things that happen. Because there are some stories that you just wouldn't even believe. Like good stories for the most part, but there are crazy stories. But it's like, you know,
Okay.
think about going to college. You know, like you got all these college stories, but for the most part, like you have sergeants that are roaming the hallway and not the, the what's it called, like the dorm manager at like college. Like they're
Hmm.
acting all wild in the military. You try to act a little wild, but the sergeant shut that down real quick. So you got to be a little sneaky with it.
Okay. Hey, listen, you can save it for the book, man. I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? I'll share one. I'll share one story with the person that I worked with, which was like the most craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. There was this kid that came into where I worked, and we were told, "Oh, we have a new employee coming in," and he said, Tech, maybe you can show him around, and maybe we'll put him next to you." I said, "Yeah, cool, no problem." And he's from the same area as you, so maybe you guys know each other.
Yeah. Your
And
cousin.
yeah, probably my cousin, and I do know the guy. It's like, oh, but I know the guy, and it's not the guy that I want to work with, though.
Yeah.
Man, first day, if I'm at a job, I'm trying to impress everybody. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
talking
absolutely.
about kissing butt so much that I'm gonna have a brown ring around my neck. That's how deep in
You're getting all
ass
the way
kissing
in.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
So this guy comes in and he asked me, he said, "Hey man, can we listen to music?" I said, "Of course. Everybody got headsets on. As long as you're doing your job, it's a go." So he said, "So I can put my stuff right here and listen to music and work." I said, "Yeah, sure. No, nobody's gonna say anything. Plus, you're with me, so if anything, the manager will talk to me." So the dude pulls out a laptop. I go, I'm like, why is this guy pulling a laptop? He pulled out a laptop with two speakers.
Oh,
I'm
he's
like,
ready to get down.
I'm thinking this dude's gonna get his phone and a wireless headset and listen to music while he works. This dude pulls a laptop, two speakers, and start playing Cape Verde music. I'm like, oh my god! I said,
Hey,
dude,
that's how he gets down.
you can't do this, dude. This is the reason
Hey,
why everybody has a headset.
he asked you, and you're just like, yeah,
Jill, who's in their right mind is gonna pull out a laptop and start DJing, man, at work?
DJs.
And he actually he became a DJ. That's the funny thing.
I mean, that he was practicing his calling.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing. That's not even the crazy thing. This is the crazy part. We go to lunch. I go, hey, look, everybody got their own little table. Everybody's kind of established. This person has that table, so you can sit over there. Nobody sits there, so you can
Mhm.
kind of claim that. If you want to sit with me, that's fine. But I sit with my boy, and we like to talk about, share work, stuff, and because the job that I was doing, he did last week, so I need to pick his brain what I can do to make it easier because I was struggling with some harness. Oh, he's like, oh yeah, yeah, cool. I'm gonna sit over there. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna take, put my laptop over there. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You do that. Bring your laptop and bring your whole station over there, bro. So he sits there. Then he calls this girl that's been there for like 40 years, and she went to sit with him. She was being nice. She's like, I don't want to leave you alone. Let me
Yeah,
get to know you. You seem like a nice guy. And then the lady gets up, comes to my table, and whispers to me, I need to talk to you in the hall. I go, oh boy. I go with her, and then she goes, you know the new guy? He's eating his lunch, and the dude is drinking wine. I go, wait, what? He said, he's drinking wine. I said, there's no way he's drinking wine. It's probably just a red drink, right? I was like, it's probably a red drink. It cannot be wine. Nobody's going to drink wine at work during
if he's
lunch.
gonna DJ, he's got to turn up.
Bro, I go to the table just to, I'm pretending like everything good, you're good. I'm like, oh my God, this dude is drinking wine. He has the wine bottle, dude. At work, at lunch, first day.
I don't see the problem. I'm just kidding.
Bro. And I'm the one that's teaching him and show him around, and he's drinking. I was like, bro,
So what'd you tell him?
I, what do you mean? I looked at him. I said, dude, you can't drink wine at work. I don't know where you've worked before, but you can't drink wine and you cannot have a laptop and DJing at work, bro. I said, you're under my care. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You can't do that. I don't know where you think that's okay, but you can't drink wine at work, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And then the manager comes in and he goes to talk to him and he realizes that he was drinking wine. He's like, what are you doing? That's when I was like, thank God, because I didn't want to throw him under the bus,
Yeah,
but
you don't want
I
to snitch
had to.
on them. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, just had a guy drinking wine first day at work at lunch. Nothing crazy. So
you know.
there, that's it. But anyways, all right, let's move on to the burning hot topic that everyone and their bald headed grandmothers are talking about right now.
What are they talking about?
They're
What
talking
is it
about
now?
this guy Will Smith,
Oh, ships.
bro. First of all, I know there's a lot of Will Smith jokes. Let me just throw one at you. If you're watching live on YouTube, Will Smith that like button for us if you can, because slapping that like button is good for us. So I do appreciate that. So I think everybody knows what's going on by now, right? Will Smith
Oh
at
yeah,
the Oscar walks up to Mr. Rock and smacks him in the face because of a joke he said towards his wife. Um, I don't know. I want to.
the slap heard round the world. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
So, so you want
So
to what now?
what do you think about it, Gio? Because like the way I want to frame it into three perspectives, which is Rock, the
Yeah,
wife, and Will.
that's your three perspectives. Okay.
I want to explain it. Well, let me just do that really quick.
Yeah, do that. Go ahead. Let's have it.
Okay. So if you're looking at it from a jaded perspective, let's go there. This is a condition she's dealing with, right? And even
Alopecia.
my alopecia, even myself, and by the way, this is
That's
not
not alopecia.
alopecia. I've been dealing with this for a long time. Okay. Okay. So
It's baldopecia.
it's bald, all right. But I don't know what she deals with on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
And the way I look at it, a lot of women that I personally know and that I've talked to, the beauty standard is a little funky nowadays, right? Women want that beautiful body, and the beautiful body meaning the breast, the booty, and all that. And I think the second thing is that face. If the nose is off, they get it fixed. If the lips is off, they get it fixed,
Mhm.
right? And I think a third is the hair. Like if the hair's off, to a lot of women that I personally know, it just throws everything off. I don't care if it's a wedding, I don't care if it's a party. Their hair is that important.
Right.
So we don't know how she deals with it that way, especially if it's a medical condition. And she chose to say, you know what, I'm just gonna shave it off. I'm just gonna go for it. Um, I actually thought it was like some sort of statement she was trying to make, like some political thing. I didn't know as she was dealing with that stuff medically,
Hmm.
right? And so I don't know how she sees it. All I know is since 2018, the hair industry and also hair products is worth, I think since 2018, it's worth $84 billion. So the hair thing is very important to a lot of people, a
No,
lot of
absolutely.
not just women, but men as well, right? And so I look at it from that point of view as like, we don't know how she deals with it. Even a little joke might sting a little bit because especially when it's not her choice,
Yeah, but
right?
it's okay.
So let me go to now to Will. Now, I'm sure they probably had the discussion. I'm sure Will and her probably has this conversation about this whole hair thing and maybe how it affects her. Maybe to a point where he's probably seen her cry, how it affects his wife emotionally, and it's not a fun thing, right? That's just a will. Maybe he's
Yep.
there. He's not personally experiencing what she's going through, but he knows what she's going through,
Yeah.
right? And Rock is on stage, which he thinks he's making a safe joke, working at a place
A
that,
very prestigious place. Yeah, it's
yeah,
very, you know what I
right.
mean, professional, and
And that kind of thing with the joking happens a lot at the Oscars,
yeah, it's
right?
become the norm. Yeah, that's why
So
you have every host was a comedian.
it's a normal
There's
thing.
reasons
Yes.
for that. Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So I'm looking at it at those three perspectives. The hair thing is very important to a lot of women, even if there's no, let's say, the disease or anything. It's very personal.
Hmm.
And like I said, Will has been there with her. He's probably seen her go through a lot of stuff that we don't get to see. It's like we're not there. He's there. And like I said, Rock is just trying to make a joke and doing what he's paid to do. And I
Right.
think it was, a little soft of a joke. So that's how I wanted to kind of frame it. And that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And how do you see the whole thing? The three key pieces. Like, how do you see it?
Okay.
And then we can break it down a little bit more.
Yeah, because there's more stuff if we can get to that
Yeah.
too. So one, it's like this thing hit the internet and exploded. Like explode. When's the last time something this big? Like obviously can go to Kim Kardashian's video, but then there's a couple other major things. But like, what's hit the world? Like the slap hurt around the world, as BBT said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So real quick, how many times did you watch that video? How many times did you
Uh
watch Chris Rock get slapped in the face this week?
I not only did I watch the video so many times, I played the game that you said you reckon me to play, and I smacked Will a couple of times myself.
What was your
So
highest
I'll say
number
that.
on that game? That's
35.
I got 49. Someone I saw 79. Like for y'all, for those of y'all who don't know, it's like a little game, a link with a URL. You go in there and it's a hand. It's like the hand emoji, and it's got Chris Rock's face, and you could slide her on the screen and you could just slap him.
Yeah.
One, let's for the record, this is entertainment, right? Like we're not like I'm not here. I don't have a dog in the fight. Like I think everybody's a loser from this thing. So like it's not good around the world. But can we talk about it? Everybody loves a good train wreck and then watching something like this because that's why the views are exploding. So we didn't catch it in the beginning because we do our show on Friday, but a lot of things have happened, and we get to like add all that information instead of yo he slapped him. Why did he slap him? And then you get more info, and then you get to talk about maybe some of the people that reacted to the video or the incident. So the three part. Jada has that, and I don't know. Obviously, I don't know their relationship. But if it was a problem for Jada, and Will was aware, why did he laugh originally
Right.
when he said the joke, and then he saw her eye roll, and he's like, "Oh snap!" So
We all know that look.
as PS BS Pin just said in the comments, he said that I'm a doctor. Alopecia is in a critical condition, right? So that's true. Like there's certain things, certain jokes that you don't. If your significant other or your mom or dad just passed, like you don't talk about the dead. There's certain topics that you don't talk about. This one, something superficial like hair, right, might be a bit of an issue. However, this is where you kind of after a week you kind of look into certain details or things come out that I believe there was some history or some bad blood potentially. I don't want to start rumors or whatever, right? Not that I would, but I think there's something between Chris Rock and Will Smith regarding Jada in the past, right? So about jokes, about something that he let it slide, right? And then maybe like he probably could have told him on offline. I was like, look, don't talk about my wife, but I don't know. That's speculation. The rest of that. The other piece is Chris Rock also has a documentary called Good Hair that
Right.
was not received greatly by African American women specifically, right? Because it was kind of a diss. Like I didn't watch it all, but I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
So now you have that, right? And then go look at Tiffany Haddish's comment. I was surprised that she seemed to take Will Smith's side because she did not say it was deplorable, and she's a comedian. So automatically you think that comedian to comedian, connection where she's like, those were jokes and he slapped him in the face for it is messed up. That's the side I think that she would, but maybe she's looking at it from a different perspective. Maybe she knows Will better than Chris or
Right.
whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I was gonna
So
say relationship probably matters there as well.
right. And the Chris Rock piece, he's doing his job. He's saying jokes, and it was a light joke for him to get slapped. And I give him credit for not making it uglier. Like they could have
Right.
fought. I mean,
Yeah.
he's way smaller. They say he's five. Chris Rock is 5'10", 155 pounds. Will Smith is 6'2", 250. Like
But
that's a bit.
still, when you black out though, Gio, when you
Bro,
smack me and you embarrass me like that, I black out. I don't care how big you are.
I'm
I'm gonna put up
tossing.
a fight.
I'm tossing Oscars. I'm finding them, and they're in the audience. I'm like, but that's different. But again, everyone says that. Like everyone
Yeah.
says in that moment, that's what I would do. You're not in that moment. Chris Rock would have even probably clowned whoever it was if it wasn't him that got slapped. Because think about it, Chris Rock is in his place of work. He's in
Hmm.
his mind shift. I talk about paradigm all the time, right? He's in his mind frame. Like I'm at work providing a service. I'm getting
Right.
paid to be professional. And so he's on professional mode. And I think people that don't know how to switch, like we talked about the military stuff, there's a military switch and there's a personal switch. There's just a switch that happens, and everyone does it. We talked about code switching in episode
Like 4
two,
or something.
3,
4.
something. Just watch them all, you'll find it. But so there's a lot to it. So it's not that Chris Rock necessarily. Some people call him a punk for not doing anything. Some people will call him, the bigger man for not doing anything, right?
Right.
And it could just be like his mindset. Like it just came out of that. He was as surprised, if not more surprised, than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But you saw him. He balled up this. Chris Rock balled up his fist and he stepped forward just a little bit, like he started and then he checked himself,
Right.
right? And the other piece is, when he was like, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth, right?
Mm.
And at the end, he's just like the camera panned in on Chris, and he was like, "Oh, I would have. I bet you he was thinking of saying." He's like, "I could say something, but the professionalism held him back again."
He had to.
So
Yeah.
you got to give him credit for restraint, right? And Will Smith, who's had commercials that came out from years ago, like "Violence isn't the answer," right? But the other piece that you didn't talk about, the August situation, right? Will Smith has been low key, high key, friggin' cap, no cap, getting clowned because of the situation, right? Like Jada seems to be getting the upper hand on that, where like she's doing whatever she wants and he's just like her, whatever. You know what I mean? And it looked really bad for Will with August, and he didn't do anything. You ever been in a situation where like you didn't you didn't step up as a man, didn't step up in a situation, and then afterwards like, man, I should have stepped up, or I should have did this, I should have did that, and you're like, next time it's gonna be a wrap, right?
Hmm.
I feel like there's some of that there. He's like, this ain't gonna happen again. Whether he said it that night, which I don't think so, but maybe it's subconsciously that he had said in the past, right? Those like,
Yeah.
now next
Will was
next
putting
month,
his foot down.
next
Like,
person getting bitch
this is
slapped,
it. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So one more piece. He was doing a documentary for the Williams sisters, right? And King Richard, right? That he got the nomination for, was known, as he said, to be a tough man who takes care of his family, right? So I know, and moviegoers would know that when the actors are making movies, they're months long, anywhere from 3 to 6 months, and they got to
Yeah.
prep, and sometimes they do research. They almost become the person, right?
Correct.
Tupac did it. Remember when he did Juice? All of a sudden, it seemed like he all of a sudden is super gangster. Now he's got that movie to rep him, and he just went from there. I know, I know,
Bro,
I know.
why'd you go Tupac, man?
There's a quick example. I pulled it out of the top real quick. You know what I mean? But it
Because
happened.
Tupac's still being talked about because Jada loved that dude so much.
Yeah, and that's
Because
what Will Smith was like. Tupac would have shot somebody, so I got to slap somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
he
but
looked
this
at him
is
and said,
how.
Tupac would have went out up there and just killed him. You
Yeah,
need to do something, Will.
yeah. She didn't even tell him. She just looked at him, and he was just like,
That's crazy,
August.
man.
No, but this is how like dynamic. It could be simple, it could be complicated, but all it is like the end of the day, a very famous, very rich, very powerful, very influential person to everyone in the world, or majority of the world, or whatever the way you want to say it, went out of his way. And I get it, people make mistakes, and it was probably one of those, as they call crash moments, right? And he had enough, and he's stressed because things could have been building up to the awards too. Like he could be under stress,
Right.
things could happen. So with that being said, it's like there's no reason for him to walk all the way up there. Even if he goes up there and he's like, look, let me tell you right now, it would have probably been a little bit better, right? Like,
Right.
yell at him in his face, keep my wife's name out. And if he says something, you punch him, now it's a little different, I guess. I don't know. But you don't walk over there, slap the shit out of him walk away, tugging on your jacket, like, yeah, I showed him, and then continue to yell at him, and then supposedly, allegedly refuse to leave.
Yes. See, that's another thing I was going to bring up too is the fact that, like, who are you to say you don't want to leave when you just assaulted someone? So it's like, oh no, we got to wait for a perfect moment to get Will out of here. No, if somebody just committed a crime, he
Absolutely, get the cops, get
assaulted
him out.
somebody.
Yeah,
The cops shouldn't go, wait a second. Oh, we got to wait for the right moment. Oh, he doesn't want to get out. Well, we don't want to turn this into a big scene because it's coming back from commercial. It's already a big scene. It's
yeah,
already a
he's
big
already slapped
thing.
him in the face, like it. And
D-
in some ways, it would have been nice, like, oh, Will Smith's being escorted. Like they thought more about
Yeah,
how it would look versus doing what's right.
it's already bad at that
Right.
point. The crime is done. You've already went so far to
Yeah.
smack someone from a joke. Now,
It's
I will
it's
say this. Like the guy said he's in the chat, he says he's a doctor. And the condition that she has may not be threatening, but how a person feels, we can't determine how a person should feel or how they take something. That's
yeah.
their feelings. We cannot judge that. How they take it is their business. To
Yeah.
her, it's probably bigger than of course. I don't think I would react to it. You know how many times I get made fun? Like I've had people draw the McDonald's arch on my head, and I'm just like, whatever, right? So, but
Yeah.
we cannot tell people how they feel. How they feel is how they feel. So we can't do that, right? And to me, one thing, the way I took this whole thing is, bro, Will Smith assaulted someone
Sure
because
did.
of a joke. You put your hands on somebody, you should be escorted out. I don't care if they knew he's gonna
Absolutely.
win, so you need him there to you know what? This is how you make him look bad. This is how you punish him.
Have
Is
his
he
wife
wins the
come get.
award, right?
He's
You
gone.
can
You know what I mean?
you cannot stay in the building after you uh, assault someone and
Yeah.
the cops are waiting for the perfect moment because you care about what's happening. It's already messed up. It's
It is.
everybody knows about the Oscar because of the smack. So
Yes.
everything after that, who gives a rat's ass?
I know. It
Get
was. I
him
mean,
out.
it's just one of those things where the person that could have made the decision
Yeah,
made the bad. There was a lot of bad decisions. Like, could
right.
Chris Rock have? I don't blame Chris Rock because I don't, because the
He's doing his
joke,
job, and it wasn't
the
that
comments in
crazy,
there is
but
like, hey, he shouldn't have said the hair. But think about it. One, you got to understand the atmosphere, the unwritten agreement of like, hey, this is what happens. People get roasted. Don't take it's all in fun. Like, let our hair down. That's what the Oscars is. Everybody, let's go. Let's give each other our flowers and be happy and blah blah blah, and sell some jokes, have some drinks, and dance afterwards. So he says a
right,
joke about her hair, and he gets mad. Will shouldn't no,
yeah,
and
and then
Will
you
shouldn't have tweeted. No, hold on, he shouldn't have tweeted his apology. You go online because he's always on Facebook. His face is always in front of the camera.
yeah,
He
yeah.
got time. You know what I mean? To be like, look, I can't see you face to face, but I'm going to say without ad libbing. Go ahead. It sounds like you
You
got
don't think
something.
it's genuine? So you don't think it's genuine, right? It's just
No, no, I don't. It's not that I don't think it's
BS.
genuine. If it was legit and like he was truly, and I don't know if he's truly sorry or not. Maybe he just chose to do that route. He just
Right.
like wants to make it quick or whatever, get it out of the way, and maybe come up with something later.
Why not call him? I'm sure they can
Maybe he did.
contact each other.
Maybe
He
he did.
hasn't.
That's what I'm
He
saying.
hasn't. He hasn't. So
That's what's great about doing these things a week later. You get a little more detail instead of
right.
speculating. We have like some info, but like come up with something
I think the
because
whole thing was handled wrong too by the Academy, and the fact that they came out and said we don't condone violence, and yet supposedly you're on a delay and you still showed it, and because when you're live, I don't know how many seconds, but there's always a delay just in case there's a swear or something goes wrong, they can cut away, but they let it
when
go. They
when
don't
will they cut
care.
it out? Like Will Smith's going to the stage. Cut it, cut it. Go to commercial. Cut the commercial.
I would. I mean, you knew like what do you think the reason is? Will is walking up there like to have a conversation.
Look, man. But here's the thing.
Come
Like I
on,
said, everyone's different. Chris Rock has been wealthy for a while. When you that rich, like you don't put, like people aren't coming to punch people in the face. If you're from like the hood or in a bad neighborhood, someone walking you like that, you automatically like every step you're on guard. He's
yeah,
in a professional mindset, like, and he's like he put his hip. We have this thing like in martial arts in the military where you flare your heel like boxers will do. Man, he caught him with a full
the follow through.
Just, you know what? I saw those memes. You know those Batman and Robin memes, and he's slapping the hell out of them.
Yeah, yeah,
That is legit the thing. That just happened.
yeah.
That is, and that'll never go away. And he doesn't want to sue him, and I get it. But like, talk about defamation of character. I mean, what Rock is doing is the best thing that he can do. He didn't quit his gig. He went to it, showed up. He didn't
Yeah,
fight back. Like Chris Rock, like I put him in. He's like, there's so many great comedians, but like he's
right.
top 10, and some people argue top 3,
Of
right,
course,
or
yeah.
5, or whatever, wherever you put him. But like, out of the worst case scenario, have a grown man slap, because you know it's not a. I'd rather get punched in the face than slapped.
Chill. I'm gonna black out. I'm attacking. I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna respond. I'm not gonna sit here on national TV on one of the biggest stage, and I'm gonna get smacked and just stay there and just like whatever. I'm gonna black out. I'm gonna attack, man. So we got to give a lot of props to Chris for doing that. Also, not
Yeah,
pressing charges. And here's the thing that really pissed me off is the fact that Will received the award. He was allowed to stay, received the award,
standing
cried like a little,
ovation.
yeah, cheered on, cried like a little bit, and said it's all about love. Love? You just embarrass your brother.
And
Love?
he had a chance to apologize right there. But that's what leads me to believe that maybe there's beef, something. Because there's no way. He
Still,
apologized. He apologized to me. He's
yeah.
like, Gio, I apologize. I shouldn't, but not Chris. Get out. He
Everybody, I'm
apologized to
sorry.
everybody.
But yeah, man, I'm a huge Will Smith fan, and I didn't like that dude.
I
Like,
know.
you apologize to
It's
everybody
unfortunate.
but Chris, your brother. And here's what I didn't know: the producer was a black man. Will Smith won his first award.
Surprising. That's crazy. I didn't.
Yes,
I thought it was a given. I didn't even know.
yes. Samuel Jackson got his first award, I believe, as well. And it
There
was
was
a
a lot of
beautiful
big
night.
moments. There's a
Yeah, it
lot
was
of big
huge
moments.
moments for
Yeah.
especially our people. I'll say that. And it was just tarnished because of Will Smith's action and how he felt about the joke. And nobody's talking about that. Everybody's like, bro, he won he won for the first time because all the movies he's done, all the great job he's done,
Yeah.
he put a black eye on this whole thing because it was a lot of black excellence that night. And they said it was like a black night because even the producer was black for the
Yeah.
first time. And now
Hmm.
it makes him look bad. The fact that we didn't get to cheer on Samuel L. Jackson, that was messed up. And if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you something. If you ask me, somebody made a joke about Will Smith and his wife before Chris Rock, which I think was even worse. I don't know if you saw that.
It
I forgot
was
her name, which to me that should be another conversation. What she was doing to the men, the harassment and touching them and filling up on them. And she's like, "Oh, we got to check for COVID." So I need. So she was calling all the single guys, the handsome single guys on
one of the
stage.
other hosts. You're talking about like Wanda Sykes or
It's the other
the.
one. I forgot her name. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no,
She
no,
she was
but
hosting. But that joke, looks, listen, I know that's a whole thing, but if that was a man, he would be in jail today. And I think her joke was worse because she said, Will, it says you're married, but Jada approves. So why don't you come on up too? And I'm like, that's worse than what Chris Rock
yeah,
said.
no, but like I
You
said,
know?
the whole thing just was. Oh
Yeah.
man, like there's so much there, right?
Oh, Regina
Um,
King. Is that her name? Regina King? No,
yeah,
maybe not. I
you
don't, I
talking
don't
about the.
remember. The other host.
Yeah, no, no, it was Wanda Sykes, the black lady.
No, there was another person too.
There
There was
was
three of
another.
them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, but sticking with it,
Her,
like,
her stuff was even worse. And listen, like I said, that's a whole different thing to talk about because she was like telling these dudes, "Hey, when we go back there, you could do whatever you want." And I was like, "Wait, can you imagine a guy was doing that, calling all the single women on stage and
mhm.
touching their hips? Like, I just want to make sure you're not carrying
Oh
any."
no,
I'm
that's
like,
that definitely go wrong. But there are double standards. That's just an
yeah,
example of what double standard looks like the other way around.
yo, the
And I bet you
Oscar,
many women could complain about different things.
the Oscar. Stop with the Oscar, man. I don't think anybody cares anymore, to be honest with you, man. I didn't even know it was on until my girl came downstairs while I was streaming. I think Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. I was like, are you falling for this? They're probably acting. It's Chris
Yeah,
Rock. And then I was like, wait a second. My phone started going crazy. I was like, oh, it is real. But yeah, like who
Yeah.
cares about the Oscar anymore, man? These people are weird. They're weirdos over there anyway, man. And the Oscar, the fact that you give an Oscar to dudes who was doing things to kids, like this whole thing was so bad, bro. It was
Well, I
terrible,
mean, the Oscars definitely got a black eye for it. I don't know how it's going to affect things and change
bro.
things next year or whatever. Our people, some people will tune in and be like, "What? Who's getting slapped? Who's Will Smith slapping now?"
Stop
You
the
know what I
Oscar.
mean?
Nobody cares, dude. It's just to make these wealthy people feel good about themselves.
Yeah,
It's a jerky circle thing. You're like nobody gives a
yeah, but
damn. Like
just don't watch it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. They
yeah,
need everybody. You know, people need gifts. They need awards. They need people to say great things to them. But the last part of that for me is the speech was actually really good. And you take the whole slap in the face out, like the speech was great. You know what I mean? But it took it away. It took away from that. He could have stole the show with that, but instead he stole the show with a slap.
bro, you
You know,
cannot smack somebody and talk about love. That's
dude.
not love.
No, I agree.
You know,
Like
I
they're probably gonna ask Chris to host again next year. Look, Chris, just don't do it.
I mean, you know what
Make
it is?
Will
No,
do it.
I think no. Well, before we came on, they was I think they were going to vote on the 18th about the Will situation. And I think it right before we came on, Will Smith wrote to them and says, "I'm going to resign from the awards. He's never going to go back." So he made that decision before they can make it.
Yeah,
And he said he felt bad about the whole thing. Now a lot of people saying, "Go ahead, take his Oscar away." No, that's wrong.
yeah,
Look,
he
I
earned
think
it.
Will
Yeah,
Smith fudged up, but he did the job. That movie was amazing. Keep it. I think he should have got escorted out. That's what I think. He should never
right.
stood there to uh,
To receive
receive
it.
the
Yeah.
award.
They basically it looks like they
So
condoned the violence. They
right,
accepted it. They said, "Hey, it's okay as long as you have money and power and all this other stuff, and you're successful and you're a winner. You could slap the shit out of anybody you want." Like,
yeah,
no, it's
yeah,
unfortunate all the way around, man. Like,
yeah. He let him keep the award. I don't care about that. I think the punishment would have been him leaving and not receive that award. I think that would have
absolutely.
hurt him even more because if
Look,
he's in his feelings already, oh, he gonna be crying for real. He cried anyway. He would have been crying even more.
Durant said, "When's GI Jane 2 coming out?" And that brings up a good point. The joke was that, "Hey, when's GI Jane coming out?" Because she was bald. GI Jane was bald. That was what's her name? Demi Moore did the movie. She did a great job, and it was a good light on women in the military, right? And then I
Right.
was in the military at the time. My wife was a female Marine at the time, like. So like it's like it's not like she was like, "Oh, you look like Big Bird," like or whatever, some like insulting person. It was GI
Right.
Jane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's why he was like, "Oh, that's an easy one. It's a soft one." He could have went all kinds of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
But he
think
didn't. But
yeah, I
that's
don't
him.
know, man. I think Will Smith was wrong. But like I said, it's hard for us to tell people how they should feel, and how people feel is how they feel. So, I understand that part of it, but I think the fact that Jada gave him that look, and you know what though, that look actually exists because
Oh, for
I
sure.
I've experienced that with my mom back in my CV days. And when someone asked me if I wanted food, I looked at her really quick. She gave me this look. I was like,
Get the
no,
approval or
I
deny.
was
Yeah.
I was so hungry. But
Yeah.
my mother was too prideful, and she was like, you hold on when we get home. I got you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I was so hungry, and I was like, no, thank you. So that look exists, and I think she did give him that look. Was like,
Yeah. No, I
nah,
think yeah, I mean, she was reacting, rolling her eyes and going like that's she was like it seemed like a low blow to her. So she took it personal, right? And Will Smith laughing
yeah,
and looked at her and was like, damn, I gotta slap a bitch. Like I can't. Like I'm not letting this happen again. What would King Richard do? You know what I mean? He'd slap a hoe.
yeah,
But like so, and I don't want to put a bad light on that because supposedly, and I haven't watched the movie yet, and I plan to. Yeah,
amazing movie,
yeah, I'm gonna watch it with my kids. We're
amazing.
gonna have a good time. But like he fought ferociously for his family, but he also had to like supposedly, from what I am and have been told, it was like he had to like go without, sacrifice, or not say the thing, and then do the dance, the shuck and jive to get whatever you need to do to get his children, his daughters, the success or the support that they needed. Like, he wasn't going around slapping people. So like, I don't want that to be the narration because
Yeah.
he
No,
was
it's an
aggressive and
amazing
bold
movie.
in his character and not in his behavior as far as like assaulting people. So like,
So
I don't understand it.
Richard defended his daughter
Mhm.
with his presence
Right.
more than anything. Just him being around. That's how he
Yeah.
protected his
And look,
daughters.
you know what? If he was like, he sat there and he's like, he just told them, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. And they'd have been like, oh, Will Smith just spoke out. You know what I mean? And they'd be
Yeah,
like, damn, Will ain't playing. The next person that talks about Jada is getting slapped in the mouth. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But
That's true. He could have
he
just
didn't.
said that. Yeah.
But you know
But
what?
yeah,
Yeah.
Richard, that movie's amazing. But yeah, he protected his daughter in a different way. Like I get what Will Smith is saying, but no, he protected his daughter just being at the at that time, at the place, at the spot, just his presence being there. That's what Richard did by protecting his daughter. It wasn't
Mhm.
violence. Like I said, we all get to a breaking point. You know what I mean? I get it. I just don't think I think if the joke was a little bit harsher, you couldn't understand it. Or maybe she was going through something else, like if it's cancer or something like that,
Right.
you
That's what
know,
I was thinking. Yeah.
yeah, then you understand it. But something that light, I don't think you should have put Chris or make Chris look that bad. And honestly, yourself, you're making yourself look bad by your actions. And I think it was so. Whose side are you on, Gio, with this?
I'm on I'm on no one's side essentially, right? Like, but if I'm gonna pick, it's Chris Rock's side. And originally,
Yeah,
I was probably not. I was dying. I was like, and then I was like,
right.
man, that's messed up. And I thought
It
about it. You know
is.
what I mean? So, and then how he's handling it is making me like be like, yeah, that's
Mhm.
how you. That's a great example. It's
Class act.
unfortunate that he has to be that example, and everywhere he's gonna go, it's gonna be that. It's gonna like the Jordan crying meme is still a thing. You know what I mean? And that's something everybody on this world has done at least once.
Yeah. So
But not
don't you
everyone
think
has been slapped in the face in front of hundreds and millions of people watch it over and over again.
don't you think people are gonna make fun of her even more now? Or put it out there even more now? Like, does it
And
really
possibly even
stop
will.
anybody?
Like, oh, you're gonna slap Chris, but what about August?
Yeah. It's not gonna stop. It's gonna be a meme. They got
Yeah.
video games, and that's why I also said, Will Smith that like button. Like it's just not gonna stop. It's gonna keep going. So um I don't know, man. I
T-shirts
don't
coming
know. I
out.
just think it's just
Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth.
oh yeah, I've already seen t-shirts where
I know it's crazy.
with pimps, they put Will Smith's face on it, all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah, it's bad all
Um
around, man.
but I will say though, the genius comedian that Chris Rock is, though, man, as Will Smith was walking up to him, this made me laugh so hard. He looked at Will. He doesn't know what's going on, but he was like, "Uh-oh, Richard?"
Yeah, yeah. Did you hear it? I thought that's what he said. He did say that, right?
Bro, I was dying. I was like, "Yo, this dude, he just like that's what he does."
And you know what else too?
Ah, that was funny.
After Will smacked him and walked away, and he goes, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me. Are you freaking like that? Just goes to show you how like he was just reacting. Oh,
Yeah,
as if he watched it on TV and he's like, oh shit, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of so and so. Like, but
right,
instead, he's talking about himself. Like you could see he's literally having an out of body experience. Like he's so ashamed. He's looking around the backstage like, is something gonna happen? He's like, apparently not. The show must go on. And he
right.
continues. He's like,
Yeah,
well, television history. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then he did slip up a little bit. He talked about, oh, we're gonna give the next documentary, which meant the next award, but he just got slapped. And bro, he took it.
yeah.
Like how many people would have spun twice and fainted?
It's true, and nobody. It's funny though. Like nobody came to his aid. Nobody like produced. Nobody
Nobody.
came on and like, hey, you okay,
You know what else? You know why?
man?
Is this just like most people thought until Will sat down and Will started cursing? They were like, "Oh, this is not a skit," because skits happen all the time. People are like,
Right?
"Oh, let's do something really cool." And what would be great if Will Smith slapping somebody? Come on, like you're
Yeah,
like if he goes up there and he smacks him, like, "Oh, that's not real." And then he starts cussing, like, wait a second. That chick, Lupita Nyong'o, I hope I didn't butcher her name, she was right behind him. We just watched, I watched 12 Years a Slave with my daughter yesterday and my wife, and it was amazing. It was a great experience, by the way. And she was in it. And I forgot that she was in it because it was so long ago, and she is amazing. She's a
Yeah,
great actress.
she's
And
great.
her facial expressions are memes in themselves. Oh,
Yeah.
she was in it. She was just like, oh, oh.
After Will said, "Keep my wife's name out your goddamn mouth," the second time she was like, "Oh, this is serious." Oh,
Yeah, she's like, exactly. She's like, oh,
I
is
was like,
that was pretty good. Mm-mm.
"Yeah." I don't know, man. Listen, man. Will, call the dude, man. Apologize to the dude, and the jokes is not gonna stop coming. Like, and then all of a sudden, the daughter comes out today and she says she's gay or something. I was like, wait, I thought we knew that.
Who's
Am I missing something?
Willow Smith?
Yeah, am I missing something? I thought I thought
I
she
mean,
was.
I'm not surprised. I mean, she's
I
like
thought
she
she
kind of
said,
like
"I don't see sex." She's like, "I don't see
yeah
genders. I date them all." I was like, "Well, but isn't like what is the news?" So people are like, "Oh, I think that she's finally coming out to say that just to kind of take attention off the dad." I was like, "This is not gonna go away."
yeah no. Like
And not
we stopped talking about Ukraine because of Will Smith.
yeah,
You think that something's gonna? It's not.
that's
You
true.
know that stuff hit it beat the Ukraine feed on my algorithm for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, BBT. So you're surprised that Chris didn't go after him. And well, that's the respect that you got to give Chris, like to like hold his composure and also, you know, to keep going and present the next award. As a matter of fact, too, because I we mentioned it was a great day for a lot of the black actors and actresses. Uh, I heard who else won? Uh, Questlove.
Yep, Questlove.
He won an award for his documentary, and I've heard it's amazing. I got to go check it out. I heard Curry and Shaq won an award like Kobe
Yep.
did for their
Hmm.
documentary, but all
Yeah.
of this stuff is not being talked about,
Nope.
and it should have been an amazing night. And
Yeah.
Will Smith just said, "Nah, not today." All right, man. Anyways, poor Pookie, man. Chat, what side are you guys on? Will or Chris? How do you guys see it? Put it in the chat, if anything. So uh, let's move on to a quick mic. Gio, if you don't mind. I like quick mics, man. It's just, random topics and stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
But Gio, do you have like a top three Disney Pixar movies? You have like a top three?
Honestly, at this point, man, it's been around so long. I watch movies, but I'm not like a major connoisseur of movies. I
No.
just enjoy them for entertainment. I don't go like looking at credits, right? So take that for the grain of sand or whatever.
Don't worry, Will Smith is not on any of those.
Oh. So the reason why I say that is because Disney, they're all the same to me. They're all
Yeah.
cartoons that you know what I mean. But
Chad, do you guys have a top three? I can tell you a top three, man. I have like
what do you have? I'll tell you if it's
man, you
something.
haven't seen Luca?
No, no.
Bro, listen. Watch Luca. I actually cried watching Luca, man. Luca is it's an amazing movie to watch, man. I'm not gonna tell you any spoilers, but yeah, he's basically a boy he's like half boy, half fish, and he becomes friends with actual human, and he find out he's a fish. Then, that part broke my heart when he was like, I can't be friends with you because you're a fish. But when he's outside of the water, he's a boy. But as soon
Mm-hmm.
as water hits him, he turns into a fish. Man, I cried. I'm not gonna lie to
Mm.
you, I cried, man. Only Luke I know is done. You know what,
That's
Durant?
you know what I mean. I was thinking the same thing. You know what I mean.
What about Incredibles?
Incredibles is one that I was gonna say on the list, and I think it's really
Ooh,
good. Incredibles is pretty good.
Incredibles good. Soul. You gotta
Soul
watch
was great.
Soul.
Soul was great.
Bro.
That was great. It was
Soul
one of
was
those movies that just make you just want to have a conversation about life, and I'm down for
yeah,
that anytime. You know what I mean? That
yeah.
was great.
He said Luca made you cry. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I cried. When he looked at Luca as a fish and not for who Luca, is just a good friend, but like they were having fun, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're a fish. I can't be friends with you. I
Yeah.
was like, come on. But you liked
I
him though
mean,
because they were having fun.
and those are good messages, right? Because kids are watching this stuff, and it's like, so hopefully it
Yeah.
resonates. Because like we were talking the other day, remember I said, like, you are what you eat, you become what you think, um, what you ingest visually and audibly, like becomes part of who you are, right? If you're in a
Hmm.
toxic environment, I'm talking about poison, you will die. If you're in a healthy environment, you will live. Mentally, emotionally, all these things that happen to you in your life. Everything that you do becomes who you are. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
watching things like this, that's why I like to expose my kids to movies. And like the 12 Years a Slave with my daughter and my wife, she came to us and she was learning that stuff in history, and she's like, can we watch it? You know what
Right.
I mean? Knowing that us being Cape Verdean and come from Africa, and then her wanting to hear a little bit more about that. And then it's an hour and 20, 2 hours and 20-minute movie. It took us like 3 hours to watch it because we paused a lot.
Yeah. I like the in
You know
between
what I'm saying?
conversation and
Yeah, it's
explain
great.
it further what is happening or why
Right.
that
And to make
happened.
sure that
Yeah.
they if they didn't grasp that last scene, do you understand what just happened? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's great. These movies are awesome like that. And
Yeah.
then having a scene where Luca is discriminated against because of what he is, that he can't help being a fish.
Can't.
You know what I mean? So it makes you kind of like think about that from your actions, or if you see somebody else acting that way, you're like, yeah, nah, you're not going to treat him like that character did Luca in that movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we need
And
more of that.
Lante said Lion King. Listen, man. Yeah, I guess I'm a very emotional guy, man. That's okay because my heart hurt when I watched
For
Lion King.
Lion King, did you watch the other version, the new updated one with like real animals
Oh
and stuff?
yes. Oh, that was
I didn't
good,
I
man.
didn't watch it only because my kids watched it without me. But like,
Oh, that
yeah,
was good.
that's one for me that like when he's running up to his dad after the buffaloes clear out, and it's like, nah,
Yeah,
nope, nope,
yeah,
nope.
man.
I got to go to the bathroom.
And I think that was the first Disney movie where they introduced death. I believe.
No, because Bambi's mom got shot in the face.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
death has
I
been part
wasn't.
of Disney forever. Like
But
they've
wait.
always done it.
Oh, I wasn't born when Bambi was out. When did Bambi come out?
Yeah, Bambi's a long time ago. You're talking about like 50 years ago plus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These are old, but like, but they keep that because it's important. Those are good lessons. The best thing to do is to learn about death through experiences on a fictitious story. Great,
Right,
right? And then if you're unfortunate enough to have someone pass in your life, hopefully that kind of transitions to it. Like if the first time that you're really dealing with death is like real life,
right.
that's tough. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
All right. Well, let's see. I got a couple more questions if you
Send
wanna.
them, man. Let's go, man. I'm on a roll, man. Let's make it happen. We got people, talking in the chat.
Yeah. Hey,
How do you
Chad. If
hate
you
Lion
if you
King,
got
man?
question, if you got question, hey, put it in the chat. We'll read it, man. The other day I was thinking I was watching a clip of Boys in the Hood, and I think I need to watch that movie now as an adult with a different mindset. I actually want to go back and watch all of those movies again, just because I watched them. I was young. I understood it, but I think as an adult, I think I think I'll get other things out of it that I didn't see when I was a kid. And one of the scenes is I think when Dope Boy's brother died, when Ricky died and he poured out some liquor,
Yeah.
right? So I think you've seen people do that where they pour out some liquor for the homies.
Hmm.
Some stupid reason. Listen, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Tech is on YouTube, and I looked up what is that about and why does that exist? And I started seeing how different cultures have that kind of thing, and I never knew this. And it goes back to the Greeks when they used to do it, but they used to pour water to thank the gods
Hmm.
for this thing that we need on this planet. So it's called what is it, man? I wrote it on here before. Hold on. it's got a it's like a weird. I think in Latin it translates into pouring. It's oh my god. Let me look up today. I just thought it was interesting because I'm just. It's probably the worst thing you can do on YouTube 3 o'clock in the morning. When you're having a drink or two, because you go in that rabbit hole, man, and you just end up somewhere else. But it's called libation, and it
Mhm.
translate in Latin. It's pouring, and I didn't know that. So I
Yeah,
thought it started on that movie, the pouring stuff, and I was like, wow, the director must have been smart. The fact that he probably researched and then added in the movie, but a lot of people don't know. But
yeah,
this is something that's been going on for centuries, and I didn't even know. And I thought that was like kind of cool. And then I got into why people cheer when they hit the bottles or a pitch of beer.
yeah. Mhm.
And supposedly, like the Vikings used to um, poison each other. So if Geo, you go get me a drink and you come back, I don't know what you put in there. So they would cheer and hit the glass really
Bump cups and
hard.
split and share like each other's.
Right. So it pours into each other's cups, and that's how they determine that you didn't poison me, unless you're trying to commit, you know, take yourself out. And yeah, that's just 3:30 in the morning. YouTube, see if you take a little bit drunk. Man, I spent hours look like what it means when they cheer in France and in Haiti, bro. It's a whole thing, but it's called libations. I just thought I shared that. I
Nice.
look up weird stuff
You're
like
already
that,
getting
man.
educated out here with stuff.
Yeah. Uh. Anyways, I ran into the guy when I was little. That's why
Oh,
your
the
mom
Lion
hated.
King movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's a good point because I remember like, we grew up in the VCR ages, right? And I had this tape, like a Looney Tunes tape. It was like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours long. I would play it, it would just be in the background. And then when it's done, I hit the rewind button and I play it again. And I must have played that thing like a million times. It was all Looney Tunes. Think of all the great Looney Tunes commercial, or I mean, cartoons. Had them all on there. It was like a full clip. So I get it. And as a
Mhm.
parent, and my kids did it too. It's like you're like, I can't. No more Teletubbies for me. I'm good. Like, nah.
Teletubbies. Oof.
Yeah.
Nah. I'd rather eat a Snicker if I watch Teletubby. But yeah, that's pretty much it, chat. Like we said in the beginning, man. Congratulations to Gio, 20 years. Uh, he hasn't retired. He's switching careers. That's because when you think about retirement, you're thinking about a 66-year-old, and now it's like, are you gonna go feed pigeons? You're gonna go play some bingo? But nah, man, just switching careers.
Hmm.
So I'll say it
Just
again.
doing other stuff.
Yeah. So congratulations to Gio again. We appreciate you, man. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if you got anything in mind. Uh,
No, man. I mean, like this shirt right here. This stuff right here is nice. I like it. Absolutely, one of my
Absolutely.
favorite things to say right there. You know what I'm saying? Got it from JP Custom Ink. Got my Cape Verdean flag on there too. So shout out to JP Custom Ink with the cool swag.
Goddamn right. Shout out to JP Custom Ink for all your custom products. I don't know if you
That's
guys will
tight.
understand.
I
I don't know if
like
you
it.
guys don't understand this though. NBA Jam. You know how back in the day they had the two players.
And it
So
shows you their
this
stats.
and it's
They
got the
got stats.
stats. The first one says Road Rage, and Geo's full.
I
He's
have a
about a
full road
90.
rage.
Yeah, 90%. And then boxing, I'm at a 90%.
Where am I at? This
You're
is
like at about 15, 20%. And then
That's
it
fine.
says,
I got nunchucks. I'm okay. That's fine.
well, it it doesn't say nunchucks. It says boxing. So,
Hey,
um, and it says cool dads. We're both at 100. I agree
that's
with that.
that's what's up. I like it.
And then speed, I'm at 95, and Gio's at 25. So
What
there's
do you mean speed? Speed in the bed? Like what are you talking about?
just running.
You're not faster than me. Get out of here.
I kind
You
of
might be
am.
quicker than me. You're not faster than me.
I mean,
Get out of here, man.
quick, fast,
Those are
same
two different
thing.
things. No, they're not.
Yeah, yeah, quick, fast,
No,
it's the same thing in my book.
no, it
Love
doesn't.
the shirts. Now we appreciate it, yeah. And this, I printed it right before we came
That's
on. It
just
was like 30 minutes before we came on. So
I like it.
yeah, Gio's got a nice shirt. I mean, it's part of his little package I sent to him. So we'll see. Hopefully next week I'll have a different shirt on. It
Yeah,
might be Will Smith. I should have had Will Smith smacking somebody, but
I know,
we'll
right?
leave it at that, man. But yo, shout out to you guys, man, for coming through, hitting like the I don't want to say hitting the like button. Will Smith the like buttons. We appreciate that. Any topics you guys want us to cover, if you want to throw it in the chat, we can do that. We basically cover one topic, and the rest we just like to just have a conversation. Um,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Foot race next episode. I mean,
Hey, run around your house real quick.
we can probably do that on the 29th.
Hey, we could do the Rich Eyes and he already did the 40-yard dash, right? He already came away because
Listen,
of the combine.
Gio is not faster than me. He's in better shape, but he's not faster than me.
I don't know,
I'm
man.
telling you, I'm an
Like,
I'm a very athletic, heavy guy. Very much so.
I'm not.
Very much so.
I'm not doubting you, right? I already know, right? And like I remember we played basketball. I think it was like 8 years ago, and I was like, this guy is still nimble. How? Like, how?
Yeah.
But when you have it, you
Listen,
have it. You
man,
know what I mean?
it's just there. It's just a little bit slower, but listen, it's there, bro. You
It's
know,
okay.
I mean, that would be fun though if we did actually race though.
We
That
gotta
would
figure
be
something out.
entertaining.
Yeah.
It would be entertaining. We need a race to determine. Yeah, yeah. I already told him. I just gave him a date, and he just like act like he didn't hear me.
First of all, we're not in the same place. I don't know how that works, and I'm not.
I
And I'm not scared.
Gio,
So
I
it's
gave
fine.
you a date. I said April 29th.
Oh, did you? I
And
didn't
you,
hear it.
and you just like, nah, I'm not
So you
listening.
want to race me? Like legit?
Wait, you think these are jokes? I'm not
No, I
Chris
don't.
Rock. You think these are jokes?
All right, we have to see. We have to
You
see
know
what's
I'm a
up.
competitive person, man.
Mm,
And whenever you can be your older brother or anything, you know what I mean? So I'm just putting it out there, man.
It's all good.
We might race. You never know. I gave him a date.
Something. Gotta do something.
I gave him a date and a place. I know exactly where he gonna be on that date, and he just
We'll do. Uh, was it punt, pass, and kick?
It's the
Play
quarterback challenge.
21. Uh, play hangman. Like we just do it. Just pick. Give us a whole bunch of stuff to do and see who wins.
Yeah, it'd be old man games. It'd be old man games.
Yeah.
He said, "Hang man." Y'all can record a clip for the show. That's what I'm saying. It could be just
Absolutely.
a little clip. Yeah.
Absolutely.
He said, "Y'all both gonna pull a hamstrings."
No, that was a legit like concern. I didn't want to say it out loud. You know what I mean? Because like
It's a concern of mine.
yeah. Don't get me tripping. I got like distance I can run pretty good, but it's like when I gotta engage the fast twitch, those things may not be ready.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
gotta
what I'm
start
saying.
stretching. Today's April Fool's, the first. I gotta stretch for 29 days to make this happen.
Yeah, I don't think.
Connect
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not
Connect
trying to do a
Four.
mile.
You don't want no smoke on some Connect Four, man.
Excuse me, sir.
I'll connect the shit out of them dots. God damn it.
Just excuse me, sir. They have Connect Four in VR. It's amazing. It feels like we're there. See
Yeah.
me, see me in VR if you want. But anyways, man. Uh, y'all get
uh,
some walkers and try to race with the walkers. BBT,
see,
you throwing jabs at us,
hey,
BBT. Now don't make us.
I like the way she's doing that because if you pull a hamstring, you already set.
Listen, I'm not pulling anything. I'm not pulling anything. I'm going for
Okay.
the win. Now, I might be out for the, next couple of months after that, you know. I'm gonna have to call work. Say I can't make it, but
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I did that, right? So this is just one, maybe the last story here, but like, um, when I was recruiting, I got a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that like I work out with, I train them and do stuff like that, get them ready for boot camp, right? And I'm supposed to like wreck them, right? I'm supposed to like put them to work, and then do twice as much as them and show them like, look, this y'all ain't ready yet. You know what I mean? And mind you, I'm twice as old as these kids, right? We go through a whole thing, and I actually lost to one of them. And this kid's a stud, like 21 years old. He ended up being like the top one in boot camp. Like out of 600 people that went to boot camp with him, he was number one. Like that's the kid, one of the kids that I had. He's the one that beat me, but he beat me by 5 seconds, and he's 20 years younger than me, right? So, but like doing it, like it was like ammo can list, run around, do this, low crawl, go do like this. It's a workout, like a CrossFit type workout, right? But militarized, right?
Right.
So I come in second place, and everybody else, like it was just me and this guy, and everybody else was kind of like, for the most part, got smoked. The next day, they were like, they used to call me Gunny. They're like, Gunny, that was a great workout. Can we do that today, bro? They must not know it takes me 4 days to recover from something like that, right? But they were ready to go. They were ready to do it again the next day, and I was just like, nah, I can't. Nah, just I can
Wow.
go hard, but like I need 2 days at least. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I'm that 21-year-old stud.